Chris, hey, what's up? This is part two of the video. So far we've kind of focused a lot of our discussion around content and just making sure that the content is, covers all the keywords that you're trying to rank for. It's sufficiently lengthy, so you have an opportunity to put in all those keywords in kind of natural sentences without it looking like you're just trying to stuff those keywords in. And then of course, we've talked about geographic ranking as well. So that content needs to sort of speak to both the services you're offering as well as the geography you're offering it in. In this part two, we're going to be focusing on some of the what's known as the off-site SEO activities. These are essentially links that you get from other sites on the internet back to your site. So in terms of ranking at a high level, we kind of look at it as two different buckets. One bucket is relevance. Is your site relevant for the search keywords that somebody's typing in, and is it relevant for the specific location from where the search is being conducted? And that relevance is established mostly through the content that you have on your site. And so, if somebody's searching from San Rafael, it's Google's automatically going to first try and look for photographers in San Rafael, and then if it doesn't find any, that's when it's going to go to nearby towns. And so, your website has to have information saying that you offer your services in San Rafael. Otherwise, Google has no way to establish that. So, relevance both from a keyword perspective, service perspective, as well as from the geographic coverage perspective. The second aspect, which is the offsite aspect, is all about kind of trust. And the way Google determines that you're a trustworthy site is by seeing, how many other sites on the internet are linking back to you or have information pertaining to your site. And each of these links or citations essentially counts as a think of it like a vote in a popularity contest. So the more votes somebody has, the more popular they are. Of course, not all votes are treated equal. So sometimes you need high quality sites. The more high quality sites you have linking back to you, the better it's going to look. So if you had to go, if you had to choose between quality and quantity, I would say quality. And then if you can get the quality as well as the quantity of links, then there's certainly nothing like that. So those are other aspects of SEO that you have to look at as well. And to start looking at that portion of SEO, I'm going to start with kind of seeing what keywords your site ranks for today. And I'm looking at this. This is a tool called SEMrush that we use to see what are your organic rank positions. And when I try to look for your site, I don't really find any keywords at all that you're ranking for. And that's, we've sort of spoken about the content already. So, by now you have an idea that your site's really not optimized for ranking for any of those keywords. So that's, definitely something to think about. If we look at David Peters, he's not technically ranking for that many keywords either. I mean, if you kind of look at these three keywords, they're not really money keywords, but I think he's sort of getting away with it because partially he has backlinks, and we'll talk about that, but also there's just elements on his site that are, that focus on, photography and San Rafael. So he's able to sort of get away with that. And then he probably, in addition to that, he's kind of, he got citations and so on. And we'll talk about that in just a second. But if it was purely on a content basis, I think, he could be doing a lot more. And then if he did, he would rank better for some of that other content, which will essentially get him more leads coming to his site. If you look at it today, most of the organic visits to his site, and he's getting about, looks like right now, about 16 visits per month, which is kind of small especially compared to where he was just a year back. He was getting 67. And then of course, back a few years back, he must have, there must have been something that caused these ups and downs. And it's possible back in those days people did crazy things for optimizing sites, and some of that worked for a while, and then eventually Google caught up with some of that and then started penalizing sites. So it's very much possible that somewhere along here some kind of penalty might have happened to a site, and then he pretty much had to do a restart, right? It's hard to say without knowing the specifics. But in any case, it's sort of interesting to see that he's kind of meandering along here at 16 visits to his site each month. And I think one reason why he might be doing okay is because, as you saw, he's both on the map pack, he's on the organic results, but he's also showing up on Yelp, and so it's possible people are just calling him from the Yelp listing, right? So that's one of the reasons why he might be doing okay. But technically his website itself is not optimized as much as it could be. So that's something interesting to look at. Definitely you could come in and start ranking for multiple keywords, and that should eventually lead to getting more traffic. When you look at Henley, now in their case, you saw how their content was organized, very different from David Peters. They were each directory had these specific subdirectories, and so people could look at what he was doing in real estate, and then residential, and then commercial, and so on. So his information was much better organized. So he's obviously ranking for more keywords than the previous guy. But again, if you look at it, not many of those keywords are money keywords, right? Like in this case, 92% of the traffic he's receiving are based on people searching for him. So obviously it's not because people are searching for event photographer or portraits and then coming to a site. So once again, it's possible that he's got all these. I mean, he's obviously listed with the San Rafael Chamber of Commerce. So there's probably all these other things that are getting him some trust factor, and then that's perhaps resulting in more deals coming to him. But purely from a website perspective, he's getting 25 unique visits a month, which is quite a bit more than than David Peters. But once again, most of the people coming to a site are coming looking for Henley photography as opposed to portraits or architecture or the other keywords. So again, it's an opportunity, I think, to start ranking for some of those other things. If you had richer content, and especially more keyword specific richer content, that's definitely, it's going to help you. Now, going and looking at the backlinks, which we talked about earlier, right? David Peters photography.net, he's got not a whole lot. If you kind of look at it, he's got 12 referring domains and about 27 links coming back to his site. And it's possible that, again, we're going to just look at it quickly. Some of the links that are coming to a site are coming from sort of what Google would consider as high, more trustworthy sites. So, these two numbers here, this is a site called Majestic, through which we track backlinks, and then this trust flow and then the citation flow. They're both indicators of the the quality of the site and of your site, as well as the links coming into your site and so on. So when you kind of look at this, sites with trust flows of 25, 22, 21. So even though he has very few links, the links that are coming to him, again, it's coming from sites which are a lot, are considered trustworthy. So BayAreaWeddings.com, Bay Area Photographer. So I mean, like, if we were to do your SEO, we would definitely want to try and get your name added in some of these, right? That would be something to look at. And then there's, the site here, something to do with Marin County Humane Society. So definitely those are, some opportunities you might, look at as you want to start ranking, especially with the higher quality backlinks. And then looking at the next guy, interestingly, his kind of trust flow is at 18. He's got 163 backlinks. Now that's kind of definitely a lot more than from 17 referring domains. And again, if you sort of look at where he's getting his links from, again, these are trustworthy sites. These at least these 3 sites here. Fair housing, again, something to do with Marin County, and healthy building science. So the question is, basically, if it's possible, to try and essentially get you ranking on some of, basically getting you links from some of these sites, that definitely will help. Now, there's also, let's see, society and law, business. So there's, definitely there's, some link opportunities to explore. And then lastly, I think I probably ran, I did run something on your site. It looks like you have, no backlinks at all at this point. So definitely something to look at. The next thing I did was look for citations, and citations are essentially like either local directories or industry directories that are essentially, they have your name, address, and telephone number listed, and they, some of them will also list your website and some of them will not. But basically, once again, these are listings of your information on other websites. And David Peters has got 79 citations. Now, I haven't looked at the others, but part of kind of trying to get you optimized would be getting those links, backlinks, and then getting citations. And there's a bunch of other things like running an online PR campaign, which will get your the release will get syndicated by numerous sites and news aggregators, and so that will kind of also help build some of your backlinks. There's high domain authority links we can get, and that's these sites we talked about earlier that had high trust, and so anything that has like high trust is basically a site that itself has a lot of good backlinks to it, a lot of unique visits and so on. So try to get you on some of those high ranking sites and so on. So there's definitely several tactics we can use on the back end once the content has been fixed. And again, it's really 2 parts, 2 sides of the same coin. You got to get the content done, and then you got to figure out how to get this content that you've just created. How do you get it discovered on the internet? How do you, and that discovery process is through this trust building, through links and citations and so on. So I hope this was useful to you. I would love to follow up with you and see if what you'd like to do as next steps. But I think it's definitely possible to get you ranking. It'll just take a little bit of work in terms of the website, and then definitely on the back end, it's sort of an ongoing initiative. But I think it's possible to definitely get you ranking for your specific keywords. And you have my contact information. My website is surfcatseo.com. That's surfcatseo.com. Again, you'll find more information pertaining to SEO and all that if you go and look there as well. So I'm going to be sharing these links with you privately, so that you have an opportunity to go to YouTube. You'll be able to see these videos, and then I look forward to speaking with you soon. Thank you.